If you're an avid user of Square too, we need to talk because I'm not very happy about this update. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Lauren Simpson, and I'm helping you maximize your time and talents as a growing small business owner, so make sure to subscribe to my channel for new videos every week. As of April 11th, Square no longer refunds the fee that you pay that is the difference between what you receive in your bank account and what you refund the customer. So in the past, the really nice thing is, for example, if you took a $100 transaction, but really you only got $97 of that because of the Square fees, if you had to fully refund that $100 to the customer, Square would basically make up the difference for you so that $97 was the only thing you were losing, and then $3 was going back to the customer, making them whole, but it was from Square. To me, this made perfect sense because it's a win-win, okay? Like the customer is getting 100% of what they are entitled to, and me as the business owner, it's not like double dipping and I'm having to pay fees twice. So that is no longer. So essentially now what happens is if you accept a $100 transaction and you pay $3 of fees, you get $97 in your bank account. Then a month later, you have to refund the customer for some reason, and you refund them fully the $100. Well, now you are paying the whole $100 to the customer, meaning you paid the fee twice, because now I'm paying the $3 up front when the transaction was done and deposited, and then I'm also paying the $3 to make the customer whole. I was pretty irritated when this update was announced because, again, I feel like it made perfect sense that I didn't have to pay twice. Everyone knows in business every now and then you are going to have to refund a customer for one reason or another. And I just felt like before, it made it a little easier to stomach, especially on very large transactions. I use $100 as an example, but we easily process thousands at a time through Square. Because I was irritated with this, I did a little research and I wanted to see what the competitors were doing. Now, Stripe says, and I quote, "Depending on the payment method used, you might incur fees to refund a charge, for example, a full or partial refund of a bank transfer." It sounds like they're kind of keeping it open-ended, that it could go either way. I have no idea on that one. If you use Stripe more often, please let me know if you have clarity on that. Next, I looked into Venmo, and this one I do have personal experience with. So I have a business account through Venmo, which means just like with Square and other credit card processing platforms, I already pay a percent of everything that is processed through there. The benefit is Venmo takes a smaller percent than a company like Square does, but I also don't like to use Venmo 100% of the time. I much would prefer to use Square because of how established it is. Because with Venmo, it's affiliated with PayPal, and I have had some serious issues with PayPal in the past, so I'm not trying to tie up all my money in that platform where customers can basically just take their money back on a whim. Anyways, when it comes to Venmo, I had an experience where I refunded someone. They paid a small amount towards an event that I was holding, and then they could no longer come, and I said, you know what, here, I'm just gonna give it back. It was like $25. And so let's say that I was getting like $24.09 of that. That's a completely random number. I have no idea if that's accurate. But basically what I did is I kept the balance in Venmo while I was registering people for this event in the case that that happened. So then what happened is when I refunded this person, they got refunded the $25, but that fee of, what does that end up being, 91 cents? Was double charged again. So same thing as what Square is doing right now. Essentially, Venmo has been doing the same thing where they take the fee again when you refund the customer. I looked into both Clover and Vagaro. Neither one of them were clear. Websites were confusing, had limited information. I feel like I had to reach out to people to get clarity, and I wasn't trying to be solicited because I'm not trying to switch services. So didn't have much luck finding answers on those websites. So again, if you use one of those services, I would love to know the answer below. Then there's QuickBooks, which you can do invoicing through. And you guys know my love-hate relationship with QuickBooks. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, check these last couple of videos. I'm telling you, it'll open up your eyes. So here is the quote from QuickBooks. Credits, refunds, reversals, to a customer's card performed after the batch closes will incur the same processing fees as the original transaction. However, void or canceled transactions, those that occur before the batch closes, will not incur the same processing fees as the original transaction. So again, if you are a Square lover and user, I need to know, how do you feel about this update? Please let me know in the comments below, because I'm just not very happy about it, because it's another thing that chips away at the profit margin of a growing small business that is already probably struggling. Like, let's be real. Like, this does not affect these large companies as much as it affects the little guys like us. And that's what really irritates me. Now, if you want to learn more about the things that I absolutely love and don't really love from Square, make sure to watch this video on the pros and cons of Square. It's definitely packed with a lot of information, and it'll probably help you sway one way or the other depending on your needs.